ever stepped into the ring. I'll try to do my brother proud. I hope my best is good enough. I dedicate this match to Owen Hart and to those who love him.
It's great to have Harley race, and that was a great introduction by the former World Heavyweight Champion. So it's wonderful to see him. Looking great too, Brad.
I thought that was Buffer.
And now here we go. See moves here that they learned, taught, and felt down in the dungeon in Calgary. The famous dungeon. Trained many great wrestlers.
I've been there.
Yeah, you have, and for years I think so many of the commentators have talked about that dungeon down in the basement of Stu Hart's house in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. I think many of the fans recently, through the Wrestling with Shadows biography of Bret Hart, had the opportunity to see firsthand just what that dungeon is all about.
Well, I was never in there wrestling. He just showed me what he trained with. I don't mean to make light of things, but I've been through their whole home, and the whole home is a dungeon.
It's a wrestling family. Running right over Benoit, Bret Hart. Great maneuver. And Benoit quickly got out of the way on that one.
I think there's a lot of people that wonder why Chris Benoit was chosen for this tribute match, and maybe a history lesson is in order. We know about all of the great accomplishments of Chris Benoit here in WCW, but so many parallels to Owen Hart, starting right from square one. Benoit training with that Hart family, as we mentioned, traveling extensively with Owen throughout the world, Canada, Japan, Europe, and Mexico, tag team partners on many occasions. When you factor in age, size, experience, many similarities between Chris Benoit and Owen Hart.
Benoit trying to bridge out of this knuckle lock here as he pulls back up showing his power. When the accident happened to Owen Hart, Bret was with his family, but Benoit was with us, and he was devastated. Many obviously wrestlers were, more than just Chris Benoit, but you talk about how he traveled with Owen, and we had a chance to talk to Benoit that following Monday when we were on Nitro. He was obviously shaken. You could see the emotion as he walked to the ring. Now the combatants give it their all. And we're seeing wrestling holds. Not a lot of finesse here. Just straight wrestling holds, great maneuvers. There's a headlock takedown.
Dungeon wrestling.
That's what it is.
It is back to the basics.
That's right.
Back to the basics.
The winner of this will be Dungeon Master.
For the time being. Notice how extra leverage, he puts the head between the shoulder blades, does Benoit. And that really cracks back on the shoulder.
I think Bret Hart's father trained both these men. You see him right now.
Spectacular reversal by Bret Hart.
I think in many ways this has to be considered also among the most important bouts in the career of Chris Benoit. He talked earlier in that interview as we see him jump backwards and catch Hart with that drop kick to the midsection, growing up in Edmonton, Canada, watching Stampede Wrestling out of Calgary every week on TV. He idolized the Dynamite Kid and he idolized Bret Hart. And at the age of 11, Chris Benoit decided that he wanted to be a pro wrestler. And since that time, Benoit has emulated his heroes, whether it's training style or wrestling technique. Nice move by the Hitman there as he gets that side Russian leg sweep.
And now being 13, you can see how he's improved.
Side of the head, but also, as Snapmare takes Benoit down, there's a lot of fans of wrestling who watch their wrestlers each and every week and try to emulate their wrestlers and have the aspirations of becoming wrestlers. Not many of them have the ability of a Chris Benoit. He truly is, and he's a fine champion. I don't think there's any question that he's a well-deserving television champion. He had the ability to gut it out, to train up in Calgary, and it's all come to the spotlight here. And as you said, Mike, his biggest match, maybe his most important match, even though his title is not on the line. He nails Bret Hart, trying to get an advantage, but Bret Hart comes away with a knee over the ropes, and the fans are with Bret each and every move. I think the fans, they respect both men. They cheer on both men, but I really think the favorite in this, obviously, because of it being his brother, Bret Hart. Got the fans.
I'm not sure anybody's really for anyone. I think they're just sitting back and they're watching a great wrestling match. Great wrestling move. I kind of like to go for the eye myself.
You know, we talked about it earlier. Well, in a way we did. We talked about two men, regardless if they're enemies or they're friends. A lot of times, Mike, you'll agree with this, can get caught up in a matchup that gets very physical, and all of a sudden, temperatures start to flare. Now you see a little bit different. We had wrestling hold. There was a clenched fist to the head that time.
Whoa!
By Bret Hart, and now they're starting to slide another. Yeah, the temperatures starting to flare. All of a sudden, regardless of the reasons in the ring, it becomes a wrestling match, a pro wrestling match.
They're still athletes, they're still professionals, and they still want to win this match.
They take pride in what they do. He comes on, he drives it home. Bret Hart makes a cover, but Chris Benoit escapes.
I think you both make great points. It's all about the heat of the battle as we saw those high impact moves. The chop from Benoit, the DDT, and then the follow-up as Bret Hart came off the middle rope, dropping down with all of his weight and getting a near fall on Benoit.
Time Bret won the circle that time as Benoit was caught underneath the ropes. He comes back to get his opponent into the ropes. Benoit hooked the leg that time, rolls through, and almost pinned him. And look at this.
You can have him here.
Submission hold, almost a Boston Crab here, although he's not really sitting down on it as Bret Hart's trying to keep Benoit from going down towards the mat. The referee in a good position here to see if Hart wants to give up or not. Wait a minute, they're in the ropes. With the JC in the left arm made of the ropes. You can see the pressure that was put on the lower back that time over the Hitman.
He had him had he not made those ropes. If he'd have had him in the middle of the ring, you'd have heard the Hart man there, the Hitman, screaming for help.
The ropes again they go. This time it's Bret Hart going down with a back body drop. Chris Benoit out of the press. We got only a 1 count, and Hart quickly kicks away. Benoit again. And a backbreaker. Here's a count. 1, 2. 2 count on the fans. I'm told we got to take a short commercial break. The tape machines are rolling. Should the match end during the break, we'll show you what happened. But if not, the tribute match for Owen Hart comes back only on TNT. Tony Schiavone, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and the Professor Mike Tenay back with you ringside Kemper Arena. Bret Hart and Chris Benoit pushing it to the limit here. This match in memory of Owen Hart. And you can see it's got very, very physical right now, guys.
It's heating up.
Bret Hart.
You know, your competitive juices only last so long, and then they start to boil.
Well, a headbutt in lower abdomen that time of Benoit. Back to the attack once again.
I think this is going to be a test, a true test for Bret Hart. If you think about the past 5 months of his career, as he goes now for the cover, and it's only 2 count that time on Benoit. Just a handful of singles matches for Bret, a couple of tag bouts here on Nitro, but one-on-one against someone with the intensity level and with the wrestling skill of a Chris Benoit, I think that's going to tell us what we need to know in terms of Bret Hart's comeback.
We talked about the tragedy occurring in May, and then in July 5th, on this program at the Georgia Dome, Bret Hart came back, and we really thought we would see him wrestle again.
I didn't think so.
Think about where he is now. What has to be going through his mind right now? Has to shut all that out because you got to try to win the match. Bret Hart is now focusing on the back here of the grip of Chris Benoit. On the outside, very tough place for anyone to be, and again,
That's a tough place to be.
the focus now has been the back, the lower back here of the crippler Chris Benoit for Bret Hart.
And that certainly makes sense when you think of the finishing move that Bret loves to employ, that sharpshooter submission hold.
Obviously one that works in the lower back. Now very methodically, Hart is taking apart the crippler Chris Benoit. You better believe that Benoit's been here before. Receiving in blows from the great champions of the sport.
Spoke to Benoit prior to this matchup, and we saw part of that interview earlier this evening on Nitro. He compared tonight's match with Bret Hart to a National Hockey League player stepping onto the ice.
Count out.